All right, let's say you're a coffee producer in Brazil and you want to get into the massive, booming market in Bangladesh. I mean, where do you even start? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on global trade and look at a key organization that's making that exact connection happen. We're talking about the Brazil-Bangladesh Chamber of Commerce and Industry, or as we'll call it, the BBCII. I mean, it's a huge challenge, right? You've got totally different languages, different cultures, a whole web of regulations, not to mention thousands of miles of ocean between you. Well, that is the exact problem that an organization like the BBCI is designed to solve.
So, what's the secret sauce here? What's the engine that actually drives these kinds of international connections? Let's break down the basic tool that makes this whole thing possible, something called a bilateral chamber of commerce.
You know, you've probably heard of a local chamber of commerce, right? Well, think of that, but with a total laser focus. Instead of trying to help every business in a single city, a bilateral chamber dedicates itself only to the business relationship between two specific countries. It's really a specialist in a world full of generalists.
And look, this difference is absolutely crucial. A local chamber, it's all about serving its own neighborhood. But a bilateral chamber like the BBCCI, it's building a dedicated highway for business, a corridor between two countries. So we're not just talking about local support here. We're talking about being a really strategic go-between, connecting companies and even the governments of both Brazil and Bangladesh.
And that really gets to the heart of what they are. They are a bridge for business. The BBCII isn't just passively helping with trade, it's actively building a bridge for entrepreneurs. It's all about connecting the dots, linking up public officials and private companies to get deals done.
Okay, so that's the big picture. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty. What does an organization like this actually do for you? What's in the toolkit? Honestly, the best way to think about the BBCI is like it's your all-in-one toolkit for going global. You need to find buyers? Bam, they're setting up trade missions. Looking for investment? They're promoting opportunities. Stuck in red tape? They're in there advocating for smarter policies. And weaving through all of that is the really crucial stuff, market intelligence, and, maybe most importantly, building those trusted networks that you just can't succeed without.
Okay, a toolkit is great, but here's the bottom line, right? What does all this actually mean for your business? How does this stuff translate into real growth, real opportunities?
Well, what's cool is that there's a clear win for pretty much every type of business. If you're a smaller company, maybe an SME, the Chamber gives you that structured guidance to help you avoid the massive risks of a new market. If you're an investor, boom, it's your inside track to opportunities that have already been checked out. The value here is real, and it's tailored to what you need.
And just to give you a sense of the sheer scale of what's possible, look at this number, $1.4 trillion. Now, that's the investment stock between the UK and the US, a very mature relationship. But that didn't just happen by magic. It was built over decades by strong institutions just like the one we're talking about. So yeah, Brazil and Bangladesh are at a different point in their journey, but this shows you the incredible long-term potential that organizations like the BBCCR are working to build, starting today.
And that brings us to a really important point. These bilateral chambers, they are not just ceremonial clubs for fancy dinners and handshakes. Not anymore. They are active, strategic platforms. Their whole purpose is to generate real, concrete business results for the people who are members.
So, if we agree they're strategic platforms, what's next? Well, that leads us right to our final section, the invitation to join. Because if you think about it that way, membership isn't just another expense on a spreadsheet. It's a strategic investment in where your company is headed.
I mean, just think about the signal your membership sends. To a potential partner in Brazil or Bangladesh, it screams credibility. It says, hey, we're not just testing the waters, we're committed for the long haul. It shows you are serious about growing globally and that you're already part of a trusted, pre-vetted network. Honestly, that signal by itself can be worth its weight in gold.
And that's exactly what the BBCI is focused on, actively building this bridge for your business right now. It's creating a direct pathway between Latin America's #1 economy and one of the fastest-growing manufacturing hubs in all of South Asia. It's not just talk. It's about making real connections happen.
So, really, it all comes down to this question. Is your business ready for its next global chapter? Because getting involved with a bilateral chamber like the BBCI, well, it's a strategic move. It's about consciously deciding to give your company the tools, the network, and the credibility it needs to unlock its full international potential. The only question left is, are you ready to cross that bridge?